On today's episode of Back of the Bird, we're pleased to sit down with Kyle Waters of the Rochester Knighthawks. This is one of the funniest interviews we've done. We were laughing the whole time. Also, I went to an NLL game as a fan, so we chat a little bit about that, catch up on some news and notes with the boys around the league. Let's get into it. This is episode 107 of Back of the Bird.
Take your first ride and run, baby, run. If you want a sign, this is it. You're mad, you're magic, you're as hard as a gun. You wanna play with fire, consider this. You'll chase the thrill if it's worth the hit, 'cause you never ever wanna work for it. Take your first ride and run, baby, run. You got a spine of steel and a roar of thunder. Yeah, you make me drown, yeah, you're pulling me under.
All right, we're back again. Episode 107, Back of the Bird, brought to you by Cottage Springs. Get out there, get them in you. I heard there may be some sort of a competitor coming into space, but don't even worry about those people. Just drink the right stuff. The Canadian-inspired brand.
Just keep drinking.
Just keep drinking. Regardless, maybe drink double then if you're going to
The
try.
more the better.
Stuff. Yep. But let's just dive into it. Paulie, how you doing?
Good, buddy. Just same old, new week, same old stuff. Just grinding away at home, buddy.
I love that. He's still doing
Actually, I
it.
do have a funny story. One quick funny story.
Yes, go.
I was working out. I don't know if it's going to be funny, but I was working out yesterday, and as I was finishing up my workout, I'm like walking, and I was wearing our NLLPA white T-shirt.
Oh, the one that sags at the neck?
No, mine's nice. You just have this strong neck, I guess.
No, so you know my issue is, Paul, I got shoulders too wide, but no bicep, so
Yeah.
it really anyways, go ahead.
So then I'm walking, and like I kind of like you're walking by all the cardio machines, so I just like catch this guy's eye, and then I look down, and he's wearing a Toronto Rock shirt, so we kind of like lock eyes, and I'm just like, "Hey, buddy, that shirt sucks," right? And then he just like literally dips his head down and like stops looking at me. So I'm like, I thought we were gonna get into like some banter, but I don't know if he like knew. I figured he would know because I was wearing the NLL shirt, because it kind of just says like NLL big. So I was like, "Hey, buddy, that shirt sucks," and then like waited for a response. The guy just like dipped his head and kept going on the elliptical. So it's like, "All right, see you later."
Big goals, huh?
Paulie, that's like the exact same as your neighbor story. You just keep throwing insults at people.
I need to stop doing that, but I like getting into the friendly banner, but somehow it always just becomes awkward. So
No, I think what it is subconsciously you want that to turn into something more. There's Paulie's the seeing red Paulie, wires crossing, Paulie's under there controlling you at the helm and being like, "Come on, buddy, try me, I dare you."
Yeah, it's when I grab some 45-year-old off the elliptical, just pound his lights in, but nah.
That's funny.
Anyways, that's all I got.
That's all you got. Donny, what's going on with you?
Yeah, life's good with me. Good win for us in Vegas last week, and nice to have a couple games in a row here without the buys, which is pretty nice. So heading to
did Callum even play that game? You could barely notice him in the first.
It was 12 points in the first half, 6 and 6 in the first half. It was Callum's a sicko, man. He's just one of the most efficient scorers that our game has had, and it's cool to be a part of it. I joke with everybody. I've learned a lot from Callum. It's hard to take stuff from, like, I can't do the stuff he does. Not many people can. He has a unique style, and it's just cool to see. So it was cool to be a part of, and good win for us, and out to Saskatoon tomorrow.
How many points did he end up with?
15.
What's the record? Steinhaus has a record. I saw it in Laxbank, but I forgot to see what it is. What's he got?
I don't know.
Did he miss it by? Oh, okay.
That you're supposed to be our stats guy, Donny.
Yeah, I don't know on that one. I didn't look.
I'll find it. Yeah, keep talking. I'll find it.
I mean, bottom line, insane. But yeah, that's, I mean, it's crazy. I think that's
Have
probably
a
the
night.
total
Have a night, Cal.
total of the last 8 games I've played in the first half. But anyways,
Yeah, Will had 14 points and didn't lead the team in scoring, which has got to be a first.
yeah, and I mean, seeing that tweet too. There was the one, it was something about like somebody leading. I'm trying to think. Oh, it was the most goals in like the shortest amount of time. Like Connor Kiernan had 2 goals in 11 seconds or something, like something weird like that. And then it's Edward was Callum.
Yeah. So, anyways, long story short, good night for us in Vegas. Had some fun after, nothing too crazy, but that whole Vegas trip is just a great trip. It's close to hotels close to the airport. Once you get there, you don't have to get in another car or bus. It's a good deal. So
Steinos has a record with 4 goals, 13 assists. Junior had the record with 15. And then Gary Gate, Derek Keenan, and Derek Malowski used to have it at 14, who Callum tied. So he's tied for third in most points in a game.
there you go.
Stacked it, Paul.
What a beauty. And he's back to the Bird Guest. You want to learn how to become a 15-point scorer?
Come on the pod.
Yeah, or go listen to that episode. Either or.
Mental. But yeah, no, everything here is same old. Just helped one of my buddies here is moved into a new place. I don't remember if I told this story before, but he pulled an old time move getting us to move him the first time around, and then he conveniently had to go pick up the keys to his new place at the same time we were moving everything. Or sorry, give back the keys to his old place at the same time we were moving everything. So we ended up having to move all of his stuff while he was not there. But at the end of the day, look at this. If you're a YouTube watcher,
nice.
He's a Back of the Bird shirt purchaser. So my buddy Joe, poke your head in. He's gonna poke his head in.
What's up, Joe?
Joe,
that's a gutless move.
Joe's
Joe.
a big listener.
Gutless.
How's it going, guys?
There he is.
Part of the corporate world with Dan.
Yeah, so that's Joe and I work together at Aon, but and his brother former Leaf. So I had to help him. I'm still helping him organize this place currently, and funny enough, no Wi-Fi on the guy, so I'm going cell phone hotspot to deal with this. And I want to make sure. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Thanks, Aon, for the Wi-Fi hotspot, because you're not paying for it.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, it's all's been the same on my end. Tough one for us in Halifax. It's Donny, have you played there? Yeah.
No, coming up in March.
Really cool place to play. But such as life, it's a tale of how the season goes. You start 3-0, then you go 0-3, and then it's you kind of have to figure it out as you go. And I know Paulie was a part of that last year and here, and in terms of kind of like a hot start to like a kumbaya or like a figure it out moment, or like what are we doing? How do we stick together? And it's funny how much those little things in sports in terms of kind of the runs of games can actually directly relate to life too. And when things kind of can go poorly for a while or feel like they're going poorly in life, and then it's like, do I have to change a bunch? Do I have to not? If I change things, will that screw me over even more? Or is that going to make things keep going worse? So it's there's life lessons built into all this, but it's hard to see that right in front of your face when all you're dealing with is just like, the pressures of losing and at the bottom line at the end of the day. Danny Mac told me this once: winning solves all. You simply can have no issues when you win a lacrosse game. You can talk about small things, you can talk about whatever, and it's just banter back and forth. But when you're losing, it's a shitty feeling that drags into everyday life. But I would tell you that things are good for me here. We're just working away and living. So I know we want to
Want to
jump
get into
into.
that living part anymore? Or no, just a quick living part. That's good. Yeah, okay, we can move
No,
on. It's
just
fine.
living.
Yeah, it's
No.
fine. We can move on.
There's certain,
Just a
certain people.
just a long pause before the living. Almost sound like
Well,
a different word, but anyways, it's all good. We'll move on. Next subject.
there's certain people that listen to this podcast that I think I need to not include the living part anymore, because I think that's why they listen to the podcast. So we might lose a few listeners, but yeah, that's okay. I'm fine by that. So maybe we dip our toe into what we're talking about here with the NIL stuff, Donnie. Why don't we? I'm gonna kick it over to you just to kind of like preface it. Because I know this was your idea, and I think it was a fantastic one. And now that we've got Bar Down on board to support us, I think it's time we put it out there.
Yeah. So, basically our thought was to try and help support some of the men and women who are playing right now in the NCAA. Obviously, with the NIL rules, there's a lot more opportunities than there used to be, and but also because of like visa issues, NIL is not super accessible for a lot of people, or at least it's a gray area. So, being that we're Canadian and we could potentially help support some Canadian athletes, that was kind of the impetus for this. So we're still workshopping exactly what this is going to look like, but basically we're going to pick a player every month that's playing in the NCAA, men or women. We should have a pretty good track of it, but if you want to send recommendations, please do. And we'll pick a player every month to kind of become a Back of the Bird ambassador, a Back of the Bird athlete. And we'll send them some gear and whatnot, and maybe some other stuff, and try to support the stuff they're doing as student athletes, and we'll try to promote them as well. Maybe have some of them on the podcast or whatnot, but just something to be aware of. College lacrosse starts, this is coming out on Friday the 2nd, starts Saturday the 3rd. So college lacrosse starts this week, and springtime is really the best time of year for lacrosse fans. You got the NLL in full swing, and college, high school, minor lacrosse, junior coming up. So it's an exciting time of year, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So look out for the Back of the Bird NIL program. If you're listening to this and you are someone who knows a lot about NIL rules, if we're violating them, please let us know. But my general thought is there are no rules. So that's pretty much how I understand it. That's how it seems with football and all these other sports. So if you can give a kid $1 million to play football, I don't know why you can't give them a Back of the Bird hoodie. So, even though they're about the same value. So, yeah, that's it.
Agreed. But I had to just jump on the phone there quickly. But you didn't mention any specific High Point people that we might be giving this to, did you?
Yeah. So
because I feel the opposite way of what you wrote down.
Asher Nolting, almost broke Dan's goal record, but did not. So Dan still holds the goal record.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. We've only mentioned it. We've only been on the High Point hype train here. Braden Maillet, who is, I believe, from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, is in line.
Let's go. He's an NIL athlete no matter what. If he doesn't break it, let's go.
You didn't play junior hockey growing up, did you?
He gets it. Let's go.
So he is in line to break Dan's record. And he has a standing offer of basically what.
Fuck you, he's in line.
He's got a standing offer to basically get whatever he wants when he breaks the record. So
I'll tell you what, if he breaks the record, I will be talking to every single NLL GM and say, "Don't you dare touch this guy. He's cancerous in the room. I've heard horrible things. You don't want him." So if you're listening, Braden, don't you dare.
Do it, and I'll get you all you can drink at the Bull and Barrel.
Is that the Windsor bar?
Yeah, I still got a couple connections down the old Dirty Dub. Don't worry, I'll take care of them.
I'm trying to think what I can add to all you can drink. I was gonna say I'll throw $200 more on the bar tab, but if it's all you can drink, then
yeah, he's not drinking Windsor for about $40.
I'll get you all you can drink twice.
You might be able to buy downtown with $200, Donny. So.
Yeah, and hey, we're gonna need to get Lomi all you can drink too. He's gonna be so sad.
Man, listen,
he's gonna be tearing the High Point jersey off his wall.
I don't want to turn this about me, but listen, Braden, don't do this. I'm telling you, please don't do this. It's the only thing I'm latching on to. And if that's gone, it's gone. And I don't think I can.
Yeah. So long story short, we're on Braden my High Point record watch. We'll just until further notice.
Yeah, confirmed. But I think it's important. I think the other part, and I'm certain you touched on it, but I know we have a pretty good listening core that's in kind of like the D2, D3 market. Make sure you're keeping us updated. I'm sure I'll be getting daily updates on specifically RIT guys from Brad Gillies. But outside of that, we're gonna need to know who's doing well.
Johnny Pilcher. Johnny Pilcher is just gonna be flooding our inbox for Lukey boy.
Yeah, we're gonna be Lukey Pilcher's gonna win 18 times. He's gonna be walking around with just layers on. But,
maybe we should make it like a vote. Maybe we should.
I think Donnie, I really like that.
Maybe
I think
three
we do
nominees or something.
Twitter poll, and like put like 4 people in, and then go from there.
Okay, dig it.
Okay, sweet. I guess the other thing too, Donnie, I know we're kind of like making you lead all this banter stuff here, but the other cool thing you were a part of was flipping the script and being able to be a fan for a night. So tell us a little bit about you going to the Mammoth game.
Yeah, so I was in Denver visiting my girlfriend, and we kind of had some time on Saturday night, and Paulie was lucky enough, or nice enough rather, to leave us some tickets. So
lucky enough to have you
there. True. So we went to the Mammoth game. Just kind of wanted to share a few thoughts because we talk about these games, and I haven't actually been to a game for a long time. First of all, funny story. So when I'm in Denver, I work out with Pat Nolan, great trainer, and Trevor Baptiste and Jack Hanna work out there. So I got to know those two guys, and I walk into the Mammoth game again. Obviously, it's our 1 weekend off or whatever. First guy I see is Jack Hanna and his girlfriend, also at the game. Also, on their bye weekend. So.
The boys just love the game.
Yeah, everyone couldn't get enough, and then
just getting quick scouting trip in. That's all. Quick scouting trip.
Well, we played together. He's on Vegas, and we played the next week. So I was like, okay, cool. If we're both here, then it's
just trying to bury each other with drinks.
Yeah.
Get your quadruple.
Just super generous. So anyway, so the product of the NLL is awesome, and I know it sounds funny from someone who's in the league, but like it's so good. And the crowd in Colorado is awesome. People are really like engaged. Like I was in the bathroom and they scored, and these guys were like, "Oh, was that Eli? Was it Zed?" Like it was really cool to see like how knowledgeable they were. And I want to be clear. I'm not like criticizing anyone on this because this is a league thing. But so it was the Calgary Colorado game, and I don't know if there was a one review, and if it was short. It makes such a difference. Like we got to find a way to shorten these reviews league wide because some of them get really long. And I'm not criticizing the officials. Like they got to get it right. They're under a lot of pressure, but there's got to be like some better system to get these done with.
It's funny.
I can't too. I don't know if I can. I don't know if right now under protest that I can actually talk about things being under review,
But listen to this. So Teddy Jenner, like I don't know. Again, we can get into this, but maybe not too long because obviously we got Kyle Waters waiting in the wings here for a good interview coming up. But I had this conversation this past weekend because we had a couple of reviews in Vancouver, and then Teddy Jenner just had a hot take on a review. I didn't watch the whole thing, but he was talking about VAR. But my thing is change the rule. So instead of stepping in the crease, if you release the ball before you step in the crease, I'm not saying it's going to solve every problem, but man, it's going to be a lot more clear than like trying to figure out if the ball crossed. So you can shoot the ball and then you can step in the crease before it goes in the net. And then again, obviously you need some side rules, like you can't impede with the goalie, blah, 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 blah. But think about how much that will be so much easier. If like a guy dives, but the ball's out of his stick, he can touch the ground.
It's like it goes to the NBA full court shot. If it's out of your hands,
like it was before. Yeah, exactly. Like
whatever happens,
I'm telling you, that's gonna. And admit probably because I'm high, because it's my own idea, but I'm gonna like that's got
on your side.
That's got to speed up reviews because then it's obviously there's still gonna be some tough ones, but it's going to be a lot more easier because now it's just like, is that out of a stick? Yep. Okay. He touched the crease. Fine. It's in the net. Good. He didn't touch the goalie. He didn't do anything like that. Okay. Good goal. That's my idea.
Yep. I
know
don't
goalies are going
mind
to hate
that.
that, but I just think
And
it's going to be a lot easier.
yeah, I agree. I don't mind that. But I also think that there's got like the actual review process can just be a little bit faster too. So again, I don't want to criticize anyone on that. It's a tough issue, but just wanted to mention that because I thought it made a difference. And then, yeah, it was awesome. The Loud House is super fun. It's super loud. Paul, you guys played really well, obviously, especially
Thanks.
the second half is a good game. So yeah, it was a fun night all around. It kind of fires you up to see it from the other side and just see how pumped people are about it, and just kind of good reassurance that this thing's going in the right direction.
But Donnie, like the NHL is having problems with reviews too, so it's not
Yeah.
just like us,
Yeah.
right? Like again, I
Yeah,
think
if
everyone's
and so
having
is the
problems
NFL.
with reviews because they're trying to bring it in. And again, you obviously want to get the call right, but like everyone's having problems with reviews because some of them are so hard to see. Like there's so many legs, bodies, like. Anyways, so
Yeah, and
just
when you
to
add in the
kinda-
dunks too, like the dunk
yeah,
plays take up probably 50% of the reviews.
yeah.
If not more. So I think I'm pro dunk, but I definitely see I think you have to have the dunk in because it opens up so much other stuff in the game. And
Yeah.
I think scoring would really go down, but it is the root of a lot of the reviews. So I don't know. Interesting.
My hot take, my burning warrior burning take, even though we're not sponsored by them.
But we can be if they want to, you know.
If they want,
Yeah.
my burning take: no goal should count if you make contact with the goalie or the net. So a dunk, you have to not hit the post with your stick.
Ooh,
That would make it
basically
way
makes it
harder to do. And I think, like, I understand the part of like the dunk has become a part of the game because everyone understands how to execute it, and like, the teams that do it well, they do it really well. But I think that this is like a Garrett Billings topic. Like he loves this one, like talking about it on Twitter or whatever. I think that if you do it, you shouldn't be able to slam your stick against the post, like, because I don't know, that feels like a thing that's an advantage, or like hit, like if you jump up in the crease and then you shoot it before you land, you shouldn't be able to fall through and hit the goalie. And I think
Yeah.
that was, I mean, it's part of what Paulie said too. But
Yeah, I already said
yeah,
that, but
bottom line, we should make all the rules for the NL. Should we kick it to Waters quick here?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Okay. So, as always, brought to you by Lucky Penny Media. At Lucky Penny Media, we're a full-service marketing company without hefty agency pricing. We understand your brand is everything to you, and when working together, it means everything to us. You're more than just a client, you're a partner and a teammate. Our philosophy is simple. You grow, I grow, we grow. So here he is, Kyle Waters.
This Orangeville, Ontario native played most of his lacrosse career with the Orangeville Northmen, got traded to Brampton in the bubble. But in Orangeville, he won a Minto Cup with me in 2019, in addition to, according to Point Streak, 2 Founders Cup trophies. He was selected by the Calgary Roughnecks with the 6th overall selection of the 2021 NLL draft. And this past offseason was dealt to the Rochester Knighthawks, where he now plays with Lomi. Welcome to Back of the Bird, Kyle Waters.
Hell yeah. What's going on, fellas?
2 Founders?
Yeah, 2. It was,
Are you
it
kidding
was
me?
weird. My
With
second one
Orangeville
was,
too?
What's that?
With Orangeville too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
my second one was a bit of a weird story, so we can get into that a little later.
Fucking go for it. That's what we're here for.
Let's go right into it.
Right into it? All right,
Okay,
well,
we'll go back to the other stuff, but let's see. Why was it weird?
so I started my the year with the A's, and I signed a full A card, planned on playing A, and I got about you know how the B's start a little earlier than the A's. So I think the B's were like 15 games in, the A's were like 7 or 8 games in, and DJ brings me into the room and he's like, "Yeah, I think we're going to send you down. You can be on an AB card again, but I think we're just going to send you down and you can kind of go play some games." Because at the time I wasn't playing too much with with the A's, so they were nice enough to kind of send me down and kind of go on that little run with the Bees. So it was fun, and then obviously that year was out in Saskatchewan, so you can kind of tell how that went afterwards.
Hey, we could not because of it's in Saskatchewan, because of the smile on your face. That's why we can tell how that went.
Yeah, that was that was a bit of a gong show.
I would
I
imagine
think
so.
our
Say again.
I think our closest game in the Founders that year was 9-1, and I think the final game was, I think we put up 22, and I think we won 22 to like 7 or something. It was ridiculous.
And I
Yeah,
guess for those, for those that kind of aren't familiar with what we've talked about in the past, your Man Cup, that's going to be your senior lacrosse. Minto is junior A, and then your Founders is junior B. What's junior C called? I feel like we talked about this.
The Sheridan Cup or something
Is
like
that what
that.
it
I
is?
think
I don't remember. But
Meredith.
anyways, Meredith.
Close.
Yeah.
The Meredith.
Sheridan,
No, 'cause I think
Meredith, they're distant cousins.
Yeah. Just one's a hotel, one's not. But we'll jump into it here. Let's start. Wait, Donny, you got a few questions actually before we kind of like get right into the get go from the beginning.
Well, I had one that was just like, how's your brother doing? Because, I just remember our brothers, both of them just taking turns getting piled in the summer of 2019 together. I'm like, what's your brother up to these days?
He's actually working at Osprey Golf Course. He's been there for 7 or 8
Doing
years
what?
now.
We need some hookups. What's he
we
doing
need an
there?
in. We need an in.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. That's my favorite golf course, dude. It's unreal. It's
unreal.
gonna be so much better once they do all those rentals. That's a super sidetrack. Sorry, I just got super
No,
horny.
you're good. It's funny too. I actually used to work there for a few summers, so I'm pretty close with all the superintendents and stuff. So I'll see what I can do for the fellas.
Let's go. We love hearing that. Paulie, if there's something that's gonna make Paulie's laptop look like it's lifting up when we're doing an interview, it's talking golf and getting onto what he's claiming as his favorite course, which I love. But let's kind of just take this back, I guess not that long in time, because I just figured out that you're quite a bit younger than me. We had this conversation on the road not too long ago, but how'd you pick up a stick? How'd you get into the game?
So I was 3 or 4 years old. My dad used to play. He actually won a Founders as well, and he played with John Tavares, who coaches the Buffalo Bandits. He played against Whipper Watson. So he played against some pretty high-skilled guys himself. But yeah, he ever since I can remember, at least, he's just kind of the one that taught me how to play and taking me to all these tournaments and just kind of taking me to the rink when I could. And he got into reffing, so I was that absolute rink rat back in the day, and he loved reffing, and I just loved going and watching. And you could imagine kind of growing up in Orangeville, watching some of the teams that I did. It was pretty ridiculous watching. One of the best teams I ever watched was it had Nick Ritchie, Brett Ritchie. I think his name was Nick Thompson. Guys that are like in the NHL basically, and that team was just ridiculous to watch. And then you go up a bit, and then you see guys like Suter and Rosie, and I remember going to the rink watching those junior A guys, and we used to have to buy tickets to go to the Bunny Barn and watch Nations versus Orangeville, and that was just Jammer and all those guys. That was just
you're getting Sean Gillies squaring off at center floor in the line brawl and just having absolutely no quit in his system. But and old Watsy. Junior Watsy's sitting there paying for a ticket, watching Gillies just go to town.
And knocked out 3 times, but never go out.
He was knocked out, but never knocked down. That was him going through that entire fight. It was insane. But we've talked about this with a few guys, but what's kind of, you know, your take on growing up there and like what it kind of instilled in you in terms of like how big of a part of the community lacrosse was? Like, what did that mean to you when you were kind of coming up through Orangeville?
You kind of see it at a young age. Like my coaches growing up either played junior A, junior B, intermediate. Like they would always be the first guys to step up and be like, "Hey, I'll coach or I'll do whatever to help the team out." And it's every single age group. Like nowadays, it's you got Josh Sanderson coaching the minors and Rusty Kruger coaching the A's and Bruce Codd coaching the A's, and I go on and on and on. But that's kind of just how it's been in Orangeville. It's your coach either played or just kind of was a part of Orangeville their entire lives. So it's fun and it's super cool to see because when I grow up, it's like that's what I want to do. I want to give back to the community. I want to go back and kind of teach young kids how to play lacrosse. So I think that's kind of the fun thing about Orangeville, at least. And then they have the Barry Berman there, and you see some of the best teams come to that tournament. You want to every single A division team is there, and it's usually the top guys. So going to watch that's fun too.
So you've already decided you're going back, eh?
One day.
I love
After
it
I'm done living the Muskoka life.
yeah, you're Muskoka right now. Muskoka right now. Yeah, what's life like up there?
It's nothing you can imagine. You have to kind of live it. You have to live it to realize it's real. It's silly. Like in the summer, I live with two of my best friends. So in the summer, it's like he's got a boat, so we do like water skiing and wakeboarding and all that fun stuff. And he's got two jet skis, and there's a bar right on the water. So our favorite thing to do is grab the boat keys, head over to the old diner, and grab a Long Island iced tea.
Not too many though. You're still doing responsible boating.
Yeah, that's right. We call
What
it
lake are you on?
retro. What's that?
What lake are you on?
Lake of Bays.
Oh, okay. Oh, geez. Yeah, let's go. My buddy's on Quagma. That's a sick area up there. Yeah,
it's
it's
not too
unreal.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Fuck. I was on Lake of Bays for a wedding. They've got like a big like lodge on Lake of Bays. I forget the name of it, but
Cunnington.
Port Cunnington Lodge. Thanks, Paulie.
Yeah.
I'm a
You got
big
memory on the
Muskoka
guy.
I spent some time up there. I don't have the CT isn't fully kicked in yet. Still got a little bit left in here.
There's still a
Hey,
bit
Paulie.
in there. I love that. But what
Paul,
a
have you heard
spot,
of
man.
Paul? Have you heard of the golf course Big Win Island?
Yeah, I would love to go. So it used to be public. Now it's private, so you can't get on
Yeah.
anymore. It
So
looks unreal, though.
Wait, you got an in? You got an in?
I kind of do.
Okay, talk to me, Watsy. Talk to me.
So my grandpa has a best friend who's a member, so I can see because members are allowed one guest. So I could
Alright.
probably hook that
Alright.
up.
Hey, if it's
Okay,
gonna be
I'll
if it's
take
gonna be
that one
one,
before the
first of all-
Osprey because I don't mind paying for Osprey because I can at least go there and get a tea time. But
Sure.
you can't get a
If-
tea time at Big One.
Wally, I'll be honest. If it's gonna be one, and if he picks you over me, it's probably gonna be the end of me and Watsy.
Hey, that's the way it rolls. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah,
Talk to me first. You asked me first. Everyone saw it.
Yeah.
Big Win is essentially right across the bay from where I am. So it's
Oh,
like a
no way. That's unreal. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Man.
That place is sick. You drive by it and it's like, oh my god, the things I would do to take a swing on the practice range. Just take a fat divot out of the practice range.
Yeah. The things I would do to duff 120 yards to the right.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Things I would do to shoot 140. Oh my.
That's awesome. That's essentially. I played I played Deerhurst twice this summer.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly a great golfer, and both rounds were the worst I've ever played in my life. To the point where, like, if I had played out my golf ball, I would have shot over 200. And it was like, and to keep in mind, like a golf, like the round, like I go to pay for the round. It was for like a bachelor party, basically, and both times, and the round was like $165 or something. It was like I'm paying money to just give them more money in the balls that I just purchased on them to get back and resell. Like it just did. I mean, it just didn't add up. But let's get. And we haven't even talked about this. Let's get into a little bit of the hockey stuff. Donny, are you the only member?
I am.
Well,
I'm the only member of the podcast right now who didn't play in the OJ. Now, Paulie's the only one with his jersey retired, but Kyle, you laced him up for the Orangeville Flyers for a little bit there.
Yeah, so I laced him up for 11 games total. Um, I had fun with it. It was a cool experience, and you get the life of the junior for a couple months. But I was actually drafted to the Flint Firebirds.
Come on.
Yeah, so
Wasn't this around the time when didn't they have a scandal like around our time or something like that?
Yeah, the owner get like booted from the league?
Yeah, that was I think the
Okay.
first year they were a team, and that was the year I got drafted.
No, so you folded the franchise.
Yeah, essentially. I
His
tried.
owner talking shit about Watsy, and then he
Yeah.
complained, and then that's how it all went down.
I didn't make the team, so I said I'm fucking burning this place down.
Yeah, just rumor boyed it, leak something to the press. Hey, just,
Yeah.
just let you know
Wait,
here.
I didn't make the I didn't make the active roster. Well, I heard you were doing some suspect shit.
Yeah, just tear it down.
That's all time. And the funny
Yeah.
part too is this was mentioned before when we were doing our kind of like banter beforehand, and I'm at my buddy's condo now, and he actually played 3 seasons in the OJ for the Oakville between like Oakville Blades, Kingston, and was there somewhere else, Joe? Coburg. So
Cougars.
the
Cougars.
only two people that are in the vicinity of recording this podcast that didn't play in the OJ are Donny and Mac, who is Paulie's 2-year-old son. So you better. You better.
And he's still got his future ahead of him. I am for sure not playing in the OJ.
Hey, Donnie, you got
true.
your name up in the Oakville Arena there, though. That's not bad.
Oh, true. I got like a novice.
He's looking at his wall. He's got it on his wall.
I do have it on my wall. I never take anything off my walls. It's so bad. It's still up.
His novice trophy on the
It
wall.
is still up. It's right there.
Novice single right.
Paul,
Yeah.
you'll love this.
Same ring that Paulie's jersey's up there.
My buddy Joe here was saying that it's a fact in the history of the OJHL. He has the most tripping penalties by anyone that's ever played, which to me is the funniest thing I've ever heard, because it's the least fleet of foot player to ever play the game. But anyways, let's dive into a little bit more of the junior stuff. So you kind of talked about, I mean, we talked a little bit about the founder stuff too, but obviously we know where you're at now. Like, we know where you were drafted and kind of how well you're playing. How would you say that like getting sent down to go back for that kind of second time, like was that like the turning page that like kind of pissed you off to motivate you to like really kind of dive into lacrosse and be like, I need to figure this out and play better?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I thought I was good enough to kind of play A ball, and I thought I was good enough to crack that roster, and I just kept getting scratched, and then next thing you know, you're having those hard conversations with DJ, and then I get sent down, and I'm playing every game. And at the start, I even struggled playing B, and it was tough. I was a bit snake bitten, and kind of lost my confidence for a bit, and I think it was. I owe a lot of respect to Bruce Cod. He is just the ultimate coach and ultimate guy that you want to have in your corner, and he brings the best out of every single player that he has. And you have 100 points in the regular season, and one guy has zero as an offensive guy. It's like he doesn't care as long as you're working your bag off and you're doing what you're supposed to, and you're kind of being a team guy. He loves that shit. Like he is the ultimate team guy. And but yeah, it was tough. Like, but I was going back down to the same B team that had probably 7 or 8 of the same guys that were on the team before, and we just had so much fun playing the game. And after every round, you're having a couple of beverages with the fellas, and you're just kind of talking lacrosse or talking life or whatever it is. And but yeah, that group was special too. I mean, the first year was really special, and I think the second year was also really special. But it was a bit of a different vibe from what when we won our first founders. But yeah, it was a bit of a kick in the ass. You just kind of get those hard conversations, but it's like you just gotta suck it up and get out there and kind of figure out your game and figure out what's going on and work through it. And it was fun. It was a fun kind of part of the life, though. It's all part of the game, and it was cool.
You kind of I mean, kind of to equate it back to hockey, like you equate to like AHL, NHL, like obviously gives you a kick in the ass, but like playing junior B, did it also kind of give you like the confidence too, right? You say like you're snake bit in junior A, and all of a sudden you go to junior B, kind of like dominate, getting more touches, scoring goals. Like also give you like more confidence to be like, hey, listen, like I'm still good. Like I can go back and play. Like did it help you that way too?
Yeah, like it's like I think the year I got sent down, Brandon Sanderson was our offensive coach, and he obviously did what he did as a player. So you find tricks, and he teaches you so much about just kind of doing the little things. And how he played was pretty greasy, so he kind of shows you
Behind the low
some
back.
moves. Yeah, he kind of shows you some moves to do that might work. And um, but yeah,
And
there's no.
you've been using those ever since, eh?
Yeah, but it's I think everybody should kind of learn this too. Is there's nothing wrong with playing junior B for 2 3 years until you're fully developed. Like it's a good league, and it will always be a good league. Junior A is just kind of that title. Junior B is a title. It's if you take 2 or 3 seasons to develop, like that's fine. It's every if you have an end goal and you want to get there, just keep working your ass off, and that's kind of what I did. And it's like those hard conversations that you have with certain people is like kind of just like a wake up call. And okay, maybe I need to do more here. Maybe I need to try this, or just kind of switch up your game. And junior B was some of the best memories I've ever had, and winning 2 founders is pretty good, pretty incredible feeling. So
Yeah,
I
no
enjoyed my time there.
That's well, even look at too like I guess anecdotally like a relatable story is like a guy like Smitty, that guy played a year junior C. He,
Yeah.
like, which is a league that I didn't even know actually functioned. But and then you look at that big ogre.
Hey, there's nothing wrong
Um,
with playing junior C either,
he's
Dan. Just keep
Yeah,
and again, the
just went
message
against
is mixed up
everything.
here.
Danny just went against
Jeez.
everything Kyle said.
No.
you're the best, Bellows.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's not what I meant. At the time, I didn't know existed. Now you can go win a fucking Meredith Cup. But at the time, again, it wasn't a thing. I didn't even know the Bengals had a fucking whatever. Moving on. Let's
Wait, I wanted to ask one more thing about the founders. So,
Okay.
when
Fuck you in the meantime, Donny.
when we played together, Kyle, like our team we had a couple 50 years for sure, but we were mostly like your group that age, and like we had a bunch of imports as well, but the core of our team was the 99 guys who actually grew up in Orangeville. What do you think? Like winning that founders or both of those founders together, like what do you think that did for you guys, like as a collective? Because, I kind of have my own opinion on it, but it seemed like you guys were just kind of like a hardened group by the time you got, to fourth and fifth year.
Yeah, and it even starts a little bit before that. Our 99 group is like such a tight group. I hate to bring this up, Donnie, but we beat you guys in the summer games.
Yeah. We lost
And,
this is an all-time game. Summer games. I was playing in Burlington. We lost by 5 in overtime.
I think it was 5-5 going into overtime, and we won 10-5 or something like that.
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, it even started then. Like we had a bunch of 99s on that team. Like you look back, we got I think Zach Deacon, we got Mike McCannell.
Tyler Halls, who's an all-time beauty. Got some questions about him at the end, but all-timer.
Yeah, we'll get into him. He needs a
Oh
full
yeah,
story.
we can't get,
the guy all of us have played with here.
He needs a full story about him. He could write. We could probably all write a book about him and have something different to say. But
yeah, McCannell, Halls, yourself, Deacon, just of a whole bunch of guys. So sorry, you're saying.
Yeah, and then we go into our first year of junior B, and honestly, I don't think too many of the 99s were on the team the first year. I think Halsey played a year of intermediate. Can't remember who else on the top of my head now, but like Zach Deacon was on the team, Mike McCannell, a few other guys, but that was just a kind of group that grew up together. And even I think in our minor days, like novice, we won B division. Pee Wee, we lost in the semis. Our second year midget, we lost in the bronze medal game. And then fast forward a year, we a bunch of us are playing junior B, and a few guys are playing intermediate, and some guys just kind of hung them up. But that was a group that was together since we were probably 7 years old. Like we just stuck together, and every other year we were with the 98s. Even the 98s, like your age group, we had Travis Brown, we had Rylan Hartley, we had Ty Mikulak, we had who else did we have on that team? It was
Like
kind of
Stuckless, Jacob Miller, a bunch of guys.
But yeah, our 99 group, we all went to school together. Most of us went to school together, I should say, and it was just such a tight group, and it was so much fun. That was probably the best part about winning those first two founders. Those guys, like we've been playing together since we were, like I said, 7 years old. So you just create that like bond with guys that's just unbreakable, and some of the characters we have is pretty fun. And once you get a few drinks in you, the stories that'll come out of the guys is just silly.
And the story, not only the stories that'll come out, but like the stories that'll get made at the same time as well is probably more at the forefront.
So on that subject of funny stories, sorry Dan, I want to know, and I want to make this clear. I did not participate in this, and I'm not saying that to absolve myself. I'm saying that because I'm a pussy. But where did the no pants victory lap? Where did that come from?
That was our first year.
Hold on, what is the no pants victory lap?
So after we won the Minto, everyone comes back in the locker room, and we're all celebrating still. And they go, all right. It's like the no pants lap. So you put on your jersey and nothing else, and you start running a lap on the floor. You go for yeah.
Just hammer swinging.
Their
fans still in the stands.
It was empty. Langley was empty, I think.
Okay.
This was probably
in certain circumstances the hammer would be swinging. In other circumstances,
I'm speaking about myself, obviously. Jesus.
And I'm not talking about myself on the other side.
I had a
In
long
certain
jersey, so
scenarios.
mine wasn't swinging either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
that's the
jersey
good
was
thing.
too
You get
long.
the old mesh jerseys; they're really heavy. It goes down pretty far.
Yeah. And we were sweating. It was.
Yeah.
I could. I mean, yeah.
Hit
It
a
was just
cold
tough.
top post game. It was freezing.
Yeah. For a lot of the boys, it's just Sack running around, which is good.
I think
That's a
that
crazy tradition.
yeah, I think that started after we won our first Founders. I think it was kind of like Mike Sutton, Cam Spencer, some of the older guys that don't really play anymore. We're just like, all right, let's hit the floor one more time. Let's go. And I guess
I'll never forget. Kyle's like, Donny, we're going. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going.
You didn't go, Donny?
No, I didn't go. I stayed in the locker room. I
Were
didn't
you the
go.
only guy?
I don't think so, but
there's probably a few.
I was in the minority for sure.
That's
That
tough.
that must have been at least half an hour after the game. So that must have been at least 10 drinks in.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Half an hour.
Yeah. At this point,
That's
the
amazing.
champagne's blowing all over the room. The beers are. I think we had at least 300 beers in the room after the game. One of the parents went out and bought like 7 or 8 2-4s, and it was like ridiculous.
No, that's amazing. And to the point where you're like, boys, I got an idea. Let's go wrench out lap.
You drink
Hey, buddy.
300 beers, and that's going to happen with 24
there's absolutely
dudes.
no doubt.
That's the ideas you're going to come up with.
Hey buddies, let's go out and have
Hey
a
buddies,
laugh.
hey
buddies.
hey, I'm talking to you. Take your pants off, put your jersey back on. We're going out for a jog. That's awesome. Okay, well, listen, we're gonna fast forward a little bit here, but let's kind of jump into. We'll touch like kind of a little bit on junior here, junior A, I mean, but moving up, we get to your third year.
Yeah.
And is that right? When kind of like you explode in terms of production and things like that, like was there a difference for you? Like, did you feel it, or was it like confidence, or things are just clicking?
Like I said, I think Bruce Codd kind of brings the best out of everyone, and he is my all-time favorite coach. And he coached the Bees my first 2 years, so I was half with him, half not with him. My second year, and then my third year, he jumped up to A. Phil Sanderson jumped up to A, and then I can't remember who we had on the front door that year. I don't think it was Rusty Kruger. I think he was with Brampton at the time. But anyway, it was just like you get 2 years of junior in you, and you kind of figure out what works best for you. And personally, it was like, okay, you're 6'5", you can kind of
Not a big deal. Not a big deal.
Yeah. You can use your size to your advantage a bit. You can kind of do things certain guys might not be able to.
Hold on, you're fucking 6'5"?
6'5", 6'4", yeah, it's but
Nice. Man, I got some big buddies.
huge buddies.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
impressive.
it was and Bruce, I don't even think we practiced a lot, so it's not like practice you're trying different things or you're trying to work on your craft. Obviously, you want to play as much lacrosse as you can, but at that point, juniors basically you play 2 or 3 games a week, and you play within 2 or 3 months span, and then playoffs are right there. So we played a lot of lacrosse in a minimal time. So you're always on the floor and you're always with your buddies. So it was a fun time. And then, but yeah, I just kind of gained that confidence back in what I did. And growing up during my first year of novice, I think first year novice, I honestly went and played house league because yeah, you play for those who don't know, you play like you get 2 years of novice, 2 years of bantam, 2 years of whatever growing up, and then I think my first or second year novice or peewee it was, I played house league, and I actually played goalie for a bit.
Just in case we need one this year.
That's right. But yeah, I think it's I owe a lot to the coaching staff, and I think Donny can attest. Bruce Cott is just the ultimate guy, and he gets whatever he needs out of you.
Yeah, no, he's the man. Probably the highest like approval rating I've ever had from a coach too, from the players. Like everyone loves that guy. Yeah, he's the
Hey.
best. What do you got, Paulie?
No, just something totally random, but it kind of like just doesn't move into any of this. But we were having this conversation about older guys. No, just because we keep bringing up Bruce, but about older guys in the NHL that are like now playing against coaches or whatever. And I think I've played against almost every single coach in NLL, including like Brucey. So we're going through, and everyone's like naming a coach. I'm like, yeah, played against him. Anyways, I don't know why it made me think of that. Just kind of a sidebar.
Hold on. Paulie somehow made this about who he's played against. I'm
No,
not
I'm
buying
calling
it.
myself old. I'm just
Paul,
saying.
you ever play with him?
About Brucey. I mean,
Did you ever play
to
with
bring it
any?
back to Brucey, like the guy's 5'9", and he would get like 150 to 190 loose balls a year, which is insane.
You know his nickname? Do you know his
Yeah,
nickname?
the Desert Rat, buddy. The Desert Rat.
The Desert Rat? That is
the Desert
sick.
Rat.
Yeah.
We found that like the first year, and we just call him the Rat.
Not only is he a rat, like he's not just a rat that could live anywhere. He's a rat that could function in the desert. That's a compliment. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Good for him.
No dress shirts are safe post game when
No.
Brucey Cod was in the NLL.
In what sense?
They would be ripped right off your back.
Oh, well, I mean, that's kind of actually a perfect little segue. I mean, we can actually, maybe we'll get it. We'll do a little bit more junior. Let's finish off your junior career and then get the NL, and then we'll talk dress shirt. But let's go to when you went. So your fourth year junior, you get on a team with old Donald here. What's the feeling in the room when you guys pull him in?
So I will probably never forget the day we traded for Donny. It was I was working at the old golf course.
Because you're like I'm no longer gonna get any touches. That's what he was thinking.
Yeah, I was pissed. No, are you fucking kidding me?
Felt like the day you got sent back to Junior B.
Yeah, is like anyone but this guy.
Not again.
No, yeah, and he's like, I can tell. He's like, I can tell this guy will not run around with just his jersey on. I know
yeah, I can see it a mile away.
Yeah, but
he asked him the first day he came into the room. Donnie,
yeah, you can join the boys, but I'm gonna need to know one thing: will you let your sack hang below your tights?
Donnie showered with his underwear on. He brought a bathing suit for the Minto.
He's got a bathing suit.
It's not true for the people out there. Don't get that.
And the bar soap on a rope. He had soap on a rope as well, I heard.
That is he's got a banana stuffed in his bathing suit. Just
hey, don't forget the shower cap too, boys.
Yeah. No. That's funny, but no, all seriousness. Yeah, I was working the day we traded for Donville, and the first text I sent to our captain at the time, Zach Deacon, was, "I'm pretty sure we just won the Minto." And
that's cool.
Ballsy to say the least.
Yeah.
I think I had the text to the day, and it was like, "I'm pretty sure we just won the Minto. There's no way we lose." And I think we went on an absolute heater to end the season. I think we had to win. I think we had 3 games in 4 nights because one of our games got canceled, and we ended up going to 6 Nations for our 20th game of 20. And I think we went to overtime, and I think we clinched first. I think, what did we go, 17-3 or 18-2 that year?
I'm not sure. I got concussed in there right after I got traded. So
That explains it. That explains why he doesn't know.
well, yeah, true. Also
And,
explains
you
my
know,
9-foot long helmet.
yeah. Well, wait. Don't get into that just yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
We're gonna talk.
This
We're gonna
podcast
talk
is
about
this?
how you became coconut head halfway through
You know,
that year.
yeah, that was. There's so many stories about that helmet. It's just that thing should be in a museum.
You should, yeah.
The Hall of
Reebok
Fame.
9K, the Reebok 9K wide bucket he basically had on. That was.
So yeah, but Donnie got traded. And
Wait, hold on. You just look to your left. Is it on your wall,
me or Donnie?
Donnie?
No, it's here. It's in my house, but it's not.
Oh, you looked right to your left. I was
Put
like,
it
oh
on.
my god, is that fucking thing on your wall? It would take
I
up
gotta
half
make
your
The
room.
podcast
I
with
don't
it
know.
on.
It's downstairs somewhere. But
But
Anyways,
yeah, as soon as Donnie showed up, the vibes were just. I'm sure Donnie felt a little out of place the first few games because our team was like ridiculously superstitious. So we had like guys sit in certain places, guys do this at certain times, guys get taped at certain times, and it was just like a complete utter fuck show for Donnie as he showed up. And
yeah,
and then he
the
got
first
knocked
thing he
out.
said is
Then
like,
he got knocked out. Hey, then he got knocked out. And he's taking like someone's random seat. He doesn't even know which room he's going.
so my first game in Orangeville, I got there super early, so I'm the first guy there, and it's a double room in Orangeville, so it's like two rooms that become one for the locker room. And for whatever reason, when I got there, the second room wasn't open yet, so I just thought we were in the first room. So I put my stuff down, and I put it down where Rylan Hartley puts his stuff. And if you know Hearts, you know that's like
That's a no.
oh yeah, and like I'm gonna say I haven't been around Hearts in Roch, but Hearts in Orangeville is like another level. Like it was crazy, and I got pretty quickly told like get your shit, like get out of Heartsy spot, and then Mike McCannell on Philly, his superstition was that he would cut everybody in the tape line. So everyone would get taped in the same order, and then McCannell would just come in and get taped, no matter who was in there, because that was his pregame superstition, and everyone was just cool with it.
yeah. I can't even like go through how many guys had whatever they had and what they did. It was like a ADHD on steroids. It was ridiculous.
Well, again, Halsey's got most of them, but
Yeah.
we'll keep pushing
Yeah,
him.
between him and Ralphie, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They
that was
got
a
all
fun
the letters
time.
of the alphabet beside that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then you get into the playoff series, and I think you got hurt. Did you get hurt the second series again?
Yeah. So, second series, I hit like hit somebody, I think, and then I thought I hurt my head. Yeah, I thought I hurt my head again, so I missed the rest of the game, and that's when I got the Bucky.
Instant Space Dome.
Yeah, so I went home after the game, and I was like, all right, enough's enough. I looked up the safety ratings of hockey helmets, and I went to Hockey Life, and I bought the safest one. And I got there.
If you have it together enough to realize that you have to look up the safest helmet, I think you're fine.
Well, the problem was because I looked up the ones that I was wearing, and it was a Warrior one and then a Bauer one when I hurt my head twice.
Yeah.
And they were like D rating or whatever. So I was like, all right, that's not good. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things like don't look up the safety ratings of your helmets because I promise you're not going to like what it says.
Do you know how many people that are now listening are going to be like, how bad is this bucket I'm wearing?
Yeah. So
the whole NLL is going to be filled with the Reebok 40Ks.
I'll never forget going to Hockey Life and I see my helmet. It's on, Hockey Life has like the little like mannequin head things. So it's on the head, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's the one. And then I was like, this is so bad. Should I get the second safest one? And I'm like, I'm already doing this for the safety. Like, I just gotta do it.
Like, I'm surprised you could even fit in the store when that mannequin was wearing that helmet.
Oh, buddy, yeah, good times.
That was all time. But
What,
Donny gets hurt in that second series, and
Yeah.
then I think he comes back. I don't think he missed a game. Might have missed one. And then we won the series 4-1 against Brampton, and then we go into our final series against Burlington, and that was just an absolute war. Like, I think Donville probably chirped himself more than those guys were chirping him. And then,
Just a helmet every shift.
yeah,
It's like
it's like
nice
it's like
fucking
okay,
helmet. I'm like, guys, I know I got a stupid helmet. Like, I got it.
this is
Yeah.
game 5. We're up 3-1, and you guys are still on this. Like, so,
Yeah. No, listen, if there's one thing us Burlington guys are good at, it's sticking to one chirp.
that series was an absolute battle, though. Like, I think we won the first game by a handful, and then second game went to double OT, third game overtime, fourth game overtime, fifth game in our barn overtime, and I don't think we lost a single game in the Bunny Barn that whole year. And that place is just an absolute gong show come playoff time, and it's so fun to play there. It's 150 degrees, and there's as many people as you can fit in there. Along the boards, there's five deep in the stands. You're just crunched between two people, and I think that's what makes Orangeville special too. Is like,
Yeah, I
no
think
matter
that's
what,
that's a big part of it. Is it becomes like it's a community that's there, and everyone's like you're all there for the same reason. You have connection to at least one player. Like you know somebody, you're in the same math class, or you know what I mean, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like if you're sitting there watching, like there's a connection, and it helps that there's a beer garden that people can kind of mix it up and get into the game a little bit, or step out to Rosie's vehicle or whoever's that's there, and you can have yourself some fun while you're waiting for the game to start again.
Yeah. And then so we win that series. We win the championship, the Ontario finals, and we go out west, and oh man, out west is just an absolute just a blur. You play 6 games in like 7 or 8 nights. We were lucky enough to win our first 3 games, so we got a bye. And then we had 2 days off, I think, and then we went 3 in a row and swept the finals. And the finals was, I think our closest game there was 7-5, and that was game 3 of the Minto final, and that was pretty intense. But other than that, it was good competition, but our team was just so good, and we just wanted it so bad that we just kind of dialed in for those however long we were there, 8-9 days, and it's so hard to win a Minto, and you finally do it, and it's like holy shit, like this is real. I think
Yeah,
that's why
Heartsy was so good for us too. Like, NLL teams talk about let's get to 10, let's get to 12. We had to get to like 7.
6, 7.
He was just so locked in, and the coaching staff and everything was just, like the train was off the tracks by the time we got out west. It was a great trip though. It was a lot of fun. I wanted to ask you because we've had we've had you for a while here, but there's some funny stories. I ended up leaving right after the Minto to go back to school.
No surprise, you wouldn't even run around without your bong or your bowls.
Yeah, after I saw that, I was like, I need to get the first plane out of town. But talk about the day you guys spent at Whistler with the cup. And from my understanding, Fiona Cleveley was basically like, the cars are leaving and the guys are like, we're not coming down. We're staying at the
Wolf
top.
of Wall Street moment.
Pretty much.
So I'll tell a quick story leading up to that. It was, I think the night we won, we went to the brew house, and it was just us in there. It was like a Sunday night, and it was just us, or whatever night it was. It might have been a Tuesday, honestly. And it was us and maybe a few others having dinner, and 25, 30 guys walk in with this cup, and then immediately the cup gets filled. Hartley's brother orders 25 fireball shots. Some other guy orders another barrel of shots. So we're slamming shots, drinking beer, doing this and that. On the way home, I think I had the cup, and I just couldn't remember what I was doing. And I had a couple other guys with me, and we found this guy, just random fella, and we thought he was on our team, and he's wearing like a construction coat. And we're like, hey, buddy, you want to take a picture with us? And he is just like, all right, whatever. And then we end
You
up
just grabbed a
walking,
random, thinking
just
he
a
was a
random
fan.
guy. Yeah. And then we
That's
walked
amazing.
back, and I ended up falling asleep. I don't remember this. I think I fell asleep or hugging a toilet, and Dylan Watson is behind me, spooning me. We wake up in the morning. Dylan's not there, so I had no idea what happened. And then I get up, and I was like, "What? Like, what is going on?" And then we spend the day there, and then the next day we end up going out to Whistler, and we somehow found our way to the top. And they were like Fiona, a couple of the other drivers, I think Paul Hartley. I don't know who else was driving, but they're like, "Okay, the vans are leaving at this time. If you are not down here, we are leaving." So a bunch of us get to the very top. We're taking pictures. We're drinking Caesars. We're drinking a couple rums, and the next thing you know, it's that time, and we're still at the top. So I was like, so we're
Hey,
like,
and they were gonna go back to Vancouver.
no,
So it's not like they
yeah,
were going back to the hotel. It's like, no, we're driving 2 hours home.
certain guys were like, all right, let's figure out a way that we can take the train from here to Vancouver, Vancouver to Langley. And we're like, holy fuck, there's no fucking way we were doing that. It must have been another full day trip, but it was ridiculous. And Fiona's calling every single guy, and everybody's getting phone calls left, right, and center. We're like, yeah, we're on our way down. Just ordered another drink. It's like, all right, maybe we should go now. Like, it might be time. It's like 2 hours after the time we're supposed to leave, and they're like, all right, guys, like we're literally in the car running out of fuel. Let's go.
And
So
then you ended up making it down?
yeah, everyone ended up making it down on their own time, and they were pissed off. But what the hell can you do after you win a Minto? You can't stay fucking mad at them for too long.
No, you did what you went there to do. But
Yeah.
we've had you for a while. I know Paulie's got a jet, but let's do we'll jump into NLL stuff quickly here. Drafted early to Calgary, a place that's got a ton of fans and stuff. Let's kind of give me, like, in your mind, a quick summary of kind of your first year.
It was, I think I would say, probably the best word to describe it is tough. Like, I went in there as maybe a high draft pick, and I didn't play too much my first few games. I got in, I think I only played 7 or 8 games, maybe even less my first year. And I just kind of had to view NLL life maybe from the outside a little bit, not being on the floor with the guys and battling and stuff like that. But sometimes that's what you need. Like, not everybody can walk into this league and put up 60, 70 points and be successful right off the bat. So, especially having Mouse as a coach, like, that guy teaches you how to play the game the right way. And he doesn't matter who you are, he's treating everyone the same way. It's, you could put up 100 points or 40 points or whatever. Everyone, like I said, everyone has a job, and they're there to do that. And he loves guys just battling for their spots. And um, he was awesome. He taught me kind of the right way to play the game, and kind of, maybe even looking back at it, maybe it was a blessing in disguise, kind of being on the outside looking at my first year. I got to kind of have a bird's eye view, and see Curtis Dixon play the game, and watch Tyler Pace from afar, and Jesse King. And not a lot of guys maybe have that. They're just kind of shoved right into the mix right away. And it's hard to jump into this league and be successful. So I kind of enjoyed. I didn't enjoy it, but I was like, okay, you're gonna work for your spot. You're gonna work for this. You're gonna work for that, and you just kind of put your head down and grind for everything you got. And um, kind of 2 years later, you see results. Maybe 3 years later, you see results. But it's not this league is a marathon, not a sprint. So you just kind of pick up things as you go and put it into your game and your everyday life.
No doubt. I mean, and then fast forward and you get the call that the trade's happening. What are your first thoughts?
I had a few discussions with Bordy over the off season. It was, I think I kind of knew I was on the trading block, but I never realized it could have come true. And I was gonna sign for this, gonna sign for that. Okay, maybe this team's more interested and can give you more money. Blah blah blah. And summer goes on. I don't hear from Bordy for a bit, and come draft day, it's like I'm at a wedding and I'm just probably a few beverages in. A couple beverages deep, and I'm like, I get a call from Josh. I miss it. Get a text from one of our people that work in the office. They're like, "Hey, I'm gonna miss you. Good luck with everything." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then I call Josh back, and it's like, "Okay, you've been traded. This and that. This and that." I'm like, "Well, where am I going?" He's like, "You're going out east. You're going to Rochester." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, that's awesome. Like, I know Halsey, I know Ralphie, and I'm pretty familiar with most of those guys. I played against half those guys growing up, or played for Hazer in that little bubble season, so I knew what he was about, and it was fun. So going there it was exciting. Like, I never kind of got that opportunity in Calgary that I've already had in Rochester, and it's been fun. And I'm just kind of trying to run with it, and playing with these guys has been so much fun. And we have a pretty wicked team, so it's pretty easy to kind of come in and do my thing. So it's been good.
How's Lomi been as a vet and also as a DJ?
Lomi is he's good with the tunes. He doesn't fire us up too much, but he gets us going. It's like you're going to the gym and you're trying to pump out 290 pounds for a single rep. It's like you're going to play a lacrosse game. Let's kind of get the blood flowing a little bit here. And he's got good mixes. He's got pretty good mixes. I can't lie. But Lomi's been fun. I got a story about Lomi. He
Oh fuck! My
we're
mom listens to this. Just be
we're
aware.
we were out at we were out having some pops after the game one night, and it's like 2:30, and we get back to the hotel, and Lomi's like, "Motherfucker." He put his card down that night, and he forgets to grab his
Good guy. Hold
card.
on. Good
Yeah.
guy alert. Good guy alert.
So he puts Smitty's jacket on that's like 4 sizes too big, sprints back to the bar, and then grabs his card, sprints back. Oh, it was a disaster.
And let me tell you, this bar was 2.5, probably a solid 2.5 kilometer walk.
Yeah,
I might be exaggerating, but I ran this thing in 4.5 minutes. I've never been faster in my life. I just didn't
It
want my
was
buddies to have.
400 meters away. It was 400.
Yeah, it was 400 meters away, and I ran it in 30 minutes. But I didn't want my buddies to have any fun without me. So it was, and meanwhile, I'm wearing Smitty's pea coat. This thing's I'm basically doing spark training, the old school spark training with a parachute on. And I'm sprinting, and this thing's just trailing in the wind, flapping. That's all I can hear is this thing flapping around. But got back, and I think the other part of this too that's important for people to know, and one of my favorite WotC traits now that we're playing together is like, we'll finish the game, whatever, win, lose, tie, whatever it might be. We're gonna go have a couple beers, and WotC will have a sip of beer, and I'll have whatever, half mine. I'm talking to people, and then I'll turn over, full dress shirt unbuttoned on WotC. It's already all the way down. He's ready to do the victory lap with just the nuts out, like Orangeville style. It's completely all time, but it's one of those things that WotC's been awesome for our group, because obviously we have a bit of a younger group, and just to have like that comedic sense, but also like the seriousness when the game comes around is such a fun balance of like, okay, I know we can shoot the shit and have fun at practice and enjoy being there together, but then as soon as things happen, like, they mean a lot. And obviously, whenever it's funny, man, like whenever you have some Orangeville guys on your team, or, Peterborough guys, or whatever it might be, that like Six Nations, or older Peterborough guys, or guys that have played for Peterborough, like they have won, it's such a difference maker in like what's expected, like in terms of being able to balance having fun but not accepting mediocrity, and I think it's helped our group a lot having you around, and because it's more than anything for me, I'm on the fun side of things, and like I like to be light with everything, but it's been a blast so far, man. And there's our group chat and everything like that. It's just so hysterical because it's just guys shooting at each other and just having so much fun creating different stupid challenges on the way home from practice or whatever it might be. I don't even have to get into those, but it's I know it's been a blast, man.
Yeah, it's been fun. Like this is probably the most fun I've had playing in a while, and the guys on our team, we just have so many characters. Like we said, we could get into Halsey stories, we can get into Ryland stories, we can get into Hutchie stories. Like Hutchie is probably one of the most underrated, funniest guys in the league.
Oh, fucking right,
And
He's a
like
really good dude, man.
he is the best dude ever, and like probably one of the best teammates I've ever had. And he just cracks me up every time he says something. He is.
Well, now you're the god. You became the godfather of his child in like fucking 38 seconds.
I'm Hutchie's kid's uncle, so
Yeah. Uncle Watsy's got to look after the kids in case anything goes wrong, which is so funny. But
I think
you
he
guys,
might be taking care of me in a few years, but that's all right.
yeah, that's fine. That's why you're looking for it, which is good. You're getting ahead of it. But Donnie, Paul, you guys got anything for Watsy before we wrap it up here?
No, I think we got a
All
lot
the
more
best.
stories to tell, Watsy. I think we'll have to get you back on at some point. But
Yeah,
thanks for
great.
coming on, brother.
This was unreal.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Anyway, I got one more story.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Just quickly. Hey, Paul, do you know? You obviously know Ripper.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck! Don't.
I don't know if Dan's told you, but one weekend we're in Saskatchewan. I don't know the full, complete details of the story, but Ripper was doing whatever he was doing, and I think he was looking for Lomas. And he goes, "Where's my son?" So, for those of you that don't know Ripper, apparently Lomas is his son. I don't know what it has to do with.
Listen, let me give you the details.
Who's Ripper? Who's Ripper for those? Also for me.
So
but-
Ripper's he does the
Brzezinski.
play-by-play, the
Okay.
travel agent. He's
Okay.
the jack of
He
all
does it
trades.
all.
now for Rochester.
He's legit the Renaissance man of the Rochester Knighthawks. But we're in the lobby in Saskatchewan, and we were talking about like his kids and stuff, and then we were talking about somebody else, like how they were like acting like Ripper, and he goes, "Well, if anyone looks like me, it's Lomas." And I'm like,
Oh,
"What
man,
the fuck?"
that
I'm
one
sitting there like, what?
hurts.
With all due respect to Ripper, he's got a little bit of a nerdy edge to him and a whole lot of George Costanza to him. And the fact he looked me in the eyes and said, "That's my son," and now everybody on the team calls me RJ for Rip Junes.
Love that. Rippy Junes. I got to roll. I love you. See ya, boys.
Take care,
Yeah,
Paul.
dude.
Thanks for having me.
See ya,
guys.
Watsy.
But that thanks for fucking bringing that one up, Watsy. But all time he looked at all the boys like, "If anyone looks like me, it's Lomas." And I was like, "Oh my god." Oh,
Too funny not to bring up, but you could dig me.
yeah,
for
well,
that
I get it. I appreciate you doing that. But again, Watsy, we appreciate you taking the time, man. This has been a blast. We'll have to get you on again for some more stories about all the guys. But we're gonna have to wrap up here. But I guess I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, you will, buddy.
Let's go.
See you,
Love it.
Watsy.
Okay,
See you, Bob.
thanks again, brother.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, that was our buddy Kyle Waters. What an interview! What a sewer job. That's again all-time guy to be on a team with. But Donnie, you got anything before we want to wrap up?
Wachi's an all-time beauty. Don't let his humor and his kind of lightheartedness let you fool you. That guy can peach his dick off, and one of the more selfless guys I've been around. So appreciate him coming on and telling some stories, and something tells me that's going to be a repeat guest because he's good at this stuff. He's a good storyteller, and appreciate him coming on, and guy means a lot to me. So. Good chat.
No doubt. And I've never he's one of those guys I don't think I've ever become as close as I am with a teammate that quickly, and like we just get along real well, and he does that in our locker room and kind of keeps everyone together. And even when things are going shitty, like obviously if they have for us for the last 3 games, he's very good at kind of like turning on his joking and then turning it off and saying like let's figure this out. So yeah, we appreciate that. But again, shout out to Cottage Springs, bar down, line eye supplements coming back. But yeah, thanks for listening. That's episode 107. Back of the Bird. We'll chat with you next week.
Peace.